Back again. This is the second episode of the programming tutorial series. Last episode we talked about IDEs, JDKs, JREs, JVMs, how to compile and build the spigot jar, and then how to set up a development server so that you can, start testing your plugins. So today what we're going to do is we're going to actually get to programming and get to making our first plugin. So here we go. So the first thing that we're going to need to do is we're going to need to open up our IDE of choice. I use IntelliJ, so I'm going to be teaching you the setup of IntelliJ. Another really popular one is Eclipse. I personally don't really use Eclipse anymore. I used to use it a lot, but then I started using GitHub more, and so I kind of needed to use IntelliJ. So the first thing, once you have your IntelliJ, is you'll need to create an SDK for Java. So if you click New, alright, you'll see JDK. You want to click JDK, and then you want to scroll up to Program Files. Scroll down to where's Java, and then we're going to be doing it in JDK 8, so Java 8. Okay. Now that you have that set, I already have one, and I'll explain why I'm going to use this one in just a minute. Okay, so then we're going to say next, next again, and then we're going to name a project. We're going to just name it programming tutorial. Okay, well, should load that up. Sorry if I'm a little bit sniffly and my voice is a little bit bad because I'm still getting over a little bit of a sickness, a little bit of cold. So now if you go to external libraries, the reason mine is going to look a little bit different than yours, you're going to have everything but this right here, and that's because I have the spigot build in mine, and I'll show you how to get that right now. If you right click your library, you can open library settings, and you'll see, so this is the one we just made, so we'll make another example one. So we'll remove that one and remove that one. Okay, we'll create new JDK, and we're going to name this. So again, you go up to Program Files, you go to Java, and then you go to JDK. And we're going to name this tutorial. Okay, now that you're right here, you're going to see this little green arrow over here. You're going to click that, and now on our, is it G? Oops. Didn't mean to do that. No, I wanted to go to my G drive, not use my G drive as a, So then right here, we're going to use that. We're going to put that in there. There you go. So now we'll be able to access the Spigot API and the Spigot libraries that are required to make your plugin work. Okay, so now that we've got all that, now we can start creating the packages and stuff. So so if you're using IntelliJ, and it's pretty much the same for Eclipse. And that reminds me, for Eclipse, if you want to do the library, you probably won't have to specify the JDK. It should probably already have that when you create the project. It's defaulted to probably either Java 7 or Java 8, whichever one you have installed. Most likely, if you have Java 8 and Java 7 installed, it'll use Java 8. But if you want to do it in Eclipse, all you would do is you'd right-click on here as well, and then go to Build Path, and then you want to do Add External Library, and then you basically just do the same thing with choosing the .jar, the spigot.jar. So now we're using IntelliJ, and we're going to create the packages. And for the most part, between IntelliJ and Eclipse, they're relatively the same. It just will look a little bit different, but the code will all be the same. So now if we want to create the initial thing, what we're going to do is we're going to do new, and then we're going to do oh, whoops, why is that not, hold on, there we go. Okay, sorry, I forgot to open that up. So we're going to SRC, you're going to go to SRC, and then you're going to do new, and then you can do package. So the first thing, what I'd suggest doing is, if you're getting into programming, you're going to want to name your packages something unique to you. So I usually do me, we're going to create me, and then I'm using that, and then we're going to do package, new package, and then I do my username, and then we're going to do another package, and then we're going to do dot, and then, or not dot, sorry, and then the name of the plugin. So we're just going to name this tutorial plugin. Tutorial plugin. Actually, yeah, tutorial dash plugin. Nope, can't do a dash, forgot about that. Plugin. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to create a Java class. And we're going to name this class tutorial plugin. Oh, tutorial. Is that right? Yeah, tutorial plugin. Okay. Now that you have this, so what you'll need to do is this needs to extend Java plugin. And the reason this has to extend Java plugin, extends Java plugin. And the reason this has to extend Java plugin is because that's Spigot's way of knowing that this is a bucket plugin, or not a bucket plugin, but a Java plugin that will work on the server. Now, what we'll need to do is get, let's see, we need to create the plugin.yml. So we'll do this one. You want to click up here where it says program tutorial, click new, file, and then you want to do plugin.yml. Okay, and then, oh, actually, hold on 1 second. Alright, sorry about that. So as I was saying, so in the plugin.yml, this is where you need to specify a few things. So you need to specify, one, what the server will recognize the name of your plugin as. So we'll do name. So the first argument would be name, and ours will be, excuse me, tutorial plugin. Okay, and then the next one we'll do is the main. So that's the main, that would be this class that's extending Java plugin. Okay, so the way you format these is pretty much how this has it here. So it would be me.killercoda13.tutorial plugin, and capitals does matter. Like, capitalization is very, very important when it comes to programming. Tutorial plugin. The reason we have to do that twice is because we have to include the class name. You don't have to include .class, but you have to include the class name. You can't, actually, don't include .class because that will mess it up. So now what we do is version. Okay. Now, the way version control works, not version control, but versioning. Versioning is basically, it works off of a system 0, 0, and then 1. Well, not 0, 0. So the first argument is major, this one is minor, and then this one is fix. So for the initial version, when you're first, when you release the very first version of your plugin, it's going to be 1, right? Then, and that's what people will commonly refer to as 1.0. Now let's say you fix a bug in your plugin. Then the next version is gonna, let's say it's, let's say it's a small bug, or let's even a pretty big bug. You'd only say, we'll say 1. So that's 0.101. Okay. Now let's say you add a new feature to your plugin, like a new command. It might be 111. So for our purpose, we're gonna do 1. We're going to do just 1.0. Now, the description. Will just be basically whatever the name of your, however you want your plugin to be described. So I'm just going to do tutorial plugin for YouTube. Okay. Now I believe there's also an author argument. And all the information on plugin.yml is actually on Bucket's wiki. I'm trying to think if there's an author thing, but I don't think it's author. I think it's authors. So you can include multiple authors, or actually you can do author. Yeah, you can do author. And so I'd put killercoda13. Now the other thing you'll need to put, well, actually, we'll come back to that. So now that we have that, we're gonna come back to our plugin here, class here rather. Okay, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually get it set up so that we can. What we'll first do is we'll make it print something out to the console so that we know that our plugin is enabling, and we'll also write a command that will, let's say, heal the player and tell the player that they've been healed. Okay, pretty simple. So now that we have our main class extending the Java plugin, what we need to do is we need an onEnable method. So this is a method that is recognized by Spigot. So now that you have this, your class here is extending this Java plugin. The best way to think about this is think about Java plugin is an animal, and our tutorial plugin is a dog. So Java plugin is a broad idea, and then our tutorial plugin class is putting more detail into that and giving it more platform to go off of. So that's a good way to think about it if you think about them like this. So for example, another example would be, you know, yeah. So that I think you'll get it. You should get it. If you have any questions, feel free to comment them, and I'll answer those as fast as possible. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do @override. What override does, whenever you do @override, it's like a little, I guess you call it annotation. It will tell this that because, well, hold on. Let me type this out real quick. Because onEnable is already a method, we have to do @override. If we don't do @override, it'll say that you see, as you can see here, this is the Java class plugin. This is decompiled. We'll go back to our plugin though. So if we don't do @override, then what will happen is our this method won't do anything. Right now, if we were to launch this plugin up, it wouldn't even look at this code right here. So if we do @override, now what happens when we run this plugin is it's going to go, and as soon as the plugin's loaded up, it's going to run this code, run whatever in between these two French brackets. So now what we want to do is we want to make it so that we can know that our plugin's enabled. Okay. So the way we do that is we use buckets logger. So we say bucket.getLogger dot get dot log? Yeah, .log, and then level.info, and then we're going to say our message. So we're going to say tutorial plugin enabled. Enabled. There we go. I would suggest you spell enabled correctly if you're following along with this, like, to the point. So now that we have that, now we have to do the opposite. We have to not do the opposite. We have to do the contrary or whatever to onEnable. So now we have to do onDisable. So we can actually just copy this method and then change it to onDisable. And then we're going to change to tutorial plugin disabled. So now we have that. It'll basically, when we run our plugin and the server boots up and it enables our plugin, it's going to say tutorial plugin enabled. And we'll look at that in just a bit. So now what we need to do is we want to get commands. So now the way we do that is using a method called onCommands. So we do public boolean on command, and I'll explain what this means. Command sender, and then command string, and then label, and then string array list args. Okay. And then what you might need to do is import a few things. So if we hover over this, if you're using IntelliJ and you hover over the red bit, you can do import class. You hit Alt Enter, and then you can do import class. So I'm going to do command. Okay, there we go. Oh, that should be command sender. and then we hit alt enter. Yeah. Command sender. What? No. No, I hate when it does that. No, I want it to import. There we go. Another really good tip if you're using the clips is that Control-Shift-O will import all the necessary packages that you need to get those. And if there's, you know, conflicting package names, it will ask you which ones you want to use. That's the cool thing. So now that we have this on command method, now what we're going to do is we're going to explain this. So first, what is a method? A better way to describe a method would be to say, we'll create an adding method really quick. So we're going to create a method called add, just for the purposes of being random. Actually, we'll do a heal method because that's what we're going to need for this command. So we'll say public void because we don't need it to return anything. And then we're going to say heal player. And then so now what we're doing is this is the method. So what information we have, what we've typed, is telling, is going to tell the plugin that, one, it's public, so it can be called from anywhere that we can reach this tutorial plugin class, and then void, so it doesn't return anything. So we couldn't say heal player and get whatever information off of that. No, it's just not gonna return anything. So now what we need is we need to think about what information would this method need to heal the player. Well, we need to know the player. So we'd say player. We want to do now what these second arguments mean. So it'll say player. And the reason this is capital and this isn't is because this is the actual direct name of the object player, and then this is the name that we've specified. So we could make this PLY. We could make this coda, we could make this butts, we could make this farts. It doesn't matter. But for our purposes, we're going to make it player so that it's easier to refer back to. Now we want to add these French brackets so it knows where to go. Now what we need to do is we're going to say, we want to heal this player. So if we want to heal them all the way up to full, just with this method, we're going to say player dot set health. And then we're going to say 20. So that'll automatically set their health to full. Now what we want to do is we want to send the player a message saying that they've been healed. So we're going to say player.send message. And then if you want to do a cool chat color, so we'll say we're going to make it say it in gold. Chat color dot gold. And then you're going to do a plus sign and the quotation marks. And then we're going to add a French bracket, or not a French bracket, semicolon onto the end of this. Oh, we need to import chat color. Hold on. So if you hover over that, hit alt enter, import class, chat color. Boom. So now what we're going to do is we're going to type our little message here. So what this method is doing, so player, we're referring to this object right here, that whatever information, now the beauty of methods is that they can be dynamic. So we don't have to sit here and code a thing for every single player that could possibly use this. No, we can just say, okay, get this information, all right, and then set whatever players put in through this information to 20, and then send whatever player we put into this a message. So we're gonna say, you have been blessed with a heal. There you go. So now, if we send a player through this, if we send a player object through this, what will happen is it'll heal that player object and then send that player object a method. Now, to better understand what an object is you need to understand that Java is an object-oriented programming language. So the best way to think about that is that, well, instead of a scripting language where it's just running a script, it will hold objects in the memory. So this player object is taking up memory. Fractional amounts, of course, because there's a lot, it doesn't hold as much information, but it still holds some information. So if, for example, we wanted to save some information about what player's being healed, we couldn't save it in the memory, because as soon as the server reboots, it'll get rid of that information and it'll act like it was never there. And what Java has to do in order to keep, because it does keep some memory in it, not after reboot though, it clears all memory, but in order to stay up and running, it does something called garbage collection, and garbage collection will nullify objects that aren't being used. So let's say you have an object that's sitting there for, not doing anything, it's going to get rid of that. So you shouldn't really ever run into any issues with that. It's really your friend. However, Java's garbage collection isn't always the best, so it doesn't really get rid of a lot of things that it could get rid of, but it's still there nonetheless. So now we work on this down here, okay? So now what we want to do is we want to, since this is a player object, if we were to try to send the sender through this, okay, what would happen is, why is this having a thing here? Oh, missing return statement because it's Boolean. Oh, that's the other thing. So a Boolean is something that's either true or false. I'm not sure why they have this as returning true or false. I think it's so that, okay, actually no, I do. Never mind, haha. If this returns true, what will happen is it won't print out the command to the chat. However, if it returns false, then it'll print out the command to the chat. You don't want it to print out the command to the chat. It kind of looks weird. So we'll say return true. Now what we're going to do is we're going to actually start making commands. So we're going to specify a player object, player, we'll just say P for short, and then we're going to cast this sender, hold on, there you go, oops, equals player. Okay, so now what this is doing is this is taking the command sender, whoever sent the command. This is a little bit of a dirty way of doing it, because if the command is sent from the console, this will throw an error. But for our purposes, this will do, actually, here, what we can do is we can actually, we can make sure this is good, okay? So what we'll do is we'll say if, we'll keep this object up here, so we want to remove this code and move this up here, right? Okay. And we're going to say if the sender is instance, oh my god, of player, then we're going to say P equals, and then we're going to cast the sender to a player, so that basically it's kind of like converting it to a sender. Else, we're going to say bucket.getLogger.log level, and we're going to say info cannot run this command from console. Okay, so a lot of programming here. Okay, now that we have this, we don't need that. Okay, so now what we can do is we can say if cmd.getName. So what that's saying is if whenever the information, this information, you don't have to worry about this method right here receiving information, because it's going to automatically receive this information from the server whenever it runs the command, or whenever you run the command. And then we're going to say dot equals, ignore case, because we don't want them to have to type heal with a capital H and a capital L or whatever. And we're going to say we're going to say bless, just for whatever purposes. Okay, so if the command equals bless, okay, then then basically what that'll do is that'll tell the server to run whatever code is in between here. So from this we can do a lot. We can just do, we'll show you. So if you do p dot, this will give you a whole bunch of things you can do, and y'all can look at this later. So you can say set flying to true, so that'll enable fly for them. You could say let's see, what else is there? You could spawn particles on them. You could set their experience level. You could eject them from whatever animal they're riding or boat. You can set their game mode. You know that you can set a lot of stuff from here. But for our purposes, we made a method. So we're gonna say heal player, and then p. And then okay, so now since this hasn't been initialized, what you can do is you specify equals null, and then there you go. Now what you want to do is you want to do a well, actually no, that'll work. Never mind. So there you go. Ta-da! You've pretty much finished your first command. Now all you have to do is you have to specify that this command is part of your plugin in your plugin.yml. You do that by saying commands, and then what we'll do is you do See, this is one of those things that I'm always very careful about, because if you don't do it right, it can mess up. It'll say that you've tabbed it wrong or whatever. So I'm gonna really quickly pull one of the ones off of the Wikipedia page from Bucket, so that I make sure we're getting this right. Actually, no, I'll just pull one off of this other plugin I made a while back. Here you go. And I'll have an example plugin.yml in the description, just because plugin.ymls are always the most annoying thing ever. So we made the command bless, okay. And then we're gonna say heals the player to full health. Okay, boom, bada bing, bada boom, done. This, you now have made a plugin. Now, the way to compile this, and this is using IntelliJ, okay, is with IntelliJ it's a little bit more complicated the first time. So what you want to do is if you want to do this, if you're doing this for the first time on IntelliJ, you go to project, you go to file, go to project structure, okay, and then you want to go to artifacts, okay, and then you click the little green arrow right here, and you want to do jar empty. Okay, now we're going to change this to plugin tutorial, boom, okay, and then you want to change you want to drag this over here to this side, oops, there you go, and then the other thing you want to do is you want to click this little green arrow right here, do file, and then plugin.yml, so that's included in your plugin. You're going to do build on. You're going to check this little box, build on make, click apply. You don't need a manifest. You just say okay. Now, what you do is you do make project, and now let me go to where our project is made. Hold on the other window. Oh wait, I just had it. Okay, so now as you see right here, this is our folder where I specified mine. Okay, and what you'll see, it'll create a folder called out. If you go to the folder out, you go to artifacts, plugin tutorial, or whatever you named yours, you'll have this jar file right here. Now, what we do is we go to where we made our dev server. You'll remember making that. Okay. So we go to dev server, we go to plugins, we can drop our plugin in there. We'll delete that, we don't want that. Okay, and now we can run the bat file that we made. And I realized this actually after I finished recording, that it actually will specify 1 gig anyways. You'll see it right here, yeah, starting with 1 gig. Here we go. So we'll just throw that to that side. Need that. Where is our Minecraft? There it is. Okay. Okay. And then what we can do is we connect to our dev server right here. Oop. Okay, and if we do /pl, you'll see a tutorial underscore plugin. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention that actually. I completely forgot about that. You probably don't want to have a space in your name, in the name of your plugin. It will end up just turning into an underscore and then throwing an error in the console right, well, not an error, but telling that it's changing the name right there. It'll say that that's discouraged to use a space. So now what we can do is we do help tutorial. I wonder if it's going to do that. Yeah. Okay, so now it's going to say bless, and then what we said is heals player to full. So if we take some damage, let's do fly. Oh, forgot we don't have essentials on here. We'll go into the cactus. Here we go. We'll just keep taking a little bit of damage. Okay. Now if we do /bless, you've been blessed with a heal. Woo. Yay! As well, if we go and we look up here, we should see where we told our plugin to say that it's been enabled. Let's see. Trying to see where it is. Did it do it? It should have. Oh, there it is, right there. So, well, no. Okay, so that was what our plugin we told it to do, and that was the default thing. So it's saying it was enabled. So there you go. That's the very first plugin. Yeah. So we'll get into a little bit more advanced stuff. Let's see. Hold on. We're at a 30-minute video. Screw it. We'll keep going. All right. Now, let's do some more advanced stuff. What should we do? I honestly have no idea. So I'm going to think up something right now, pause the video, and come back and think. Alright, I thought of something kind of fun. We're going to make squids attack us. No joke, that's what we're going to do. And this will be a little bit more advanced, but I think we can do it. Alright? So now what we need to do is we need to talk about listener classes. So listener classes are something that you're going to use a lot. You're going to use a lot of listeners when making the plugin. So now what we need to do is we create a new class, and we're going to call this player move. That'll work. Okay, and then we're going to have this implements listener. We need to import listener. Nope. Import listener. Okay. Now the listener that we're going to use is called, I think, on player move event. Yeah, player move event. Yeah. Okay. This is kind of a weird way of doing this, but I just kind of thought about it in the past, like probably 20 seconds. So we're gonna go for it. So now what we do, remember the same thing. So now let me explain the difference between extends and implements. Is that extends, you're saying that that a dog, or so by saying extend, so you're saying if Java plugin is like saying animal, okay, and tutorial plugin is saying dog, it's specifying a more more specific version of the extending class. So then this an implements is saying that is kind of saying that the animal. Wait, hold on. Let me think about how I'm going to explain this. How I'm going to say this. I'm not usually... Okay. This is like saying tail extends dog. It's just adding a minor detail. So we're going to do the same thing, the add event handler thing. Public void. And then we're going to say player moves. And then we're going to say player move event. And then event. Now, here we go. This is where it gets fun. Okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to say event.getPlayer. And we're going to specify the player. So we're going to say create a player object. Player equals event.getPlayer. Now, here we go. Whoops, why isn't that importing? Import. Okay, now, why is that? Oh, okay, that's yellow, okay. So what this is saying is that every time a player moves, it's going to create an object in the instance of this method that's whoever's moving. So now what we're going to do is we're going to say we're going to create an array list. And we're going to create an array list of mobs around the player. This is how we're going to get, how we're going to know whether or not the entity around us is a squid. And we're going to say array list, and then we're going to specify the type of objects that are in this array list. Those being entities. Okay, and then enter, we're going to import entities and import array list as well, and then we're going to say entities equals player dot get nearby entities, and then we're going to say how far do we want the squids to attack us. Okay, we want them to be, if they're in a 20 block radius, and then height being, we'll say 4, and then 20. And I'll say a little bit, I'll say like 20 there too. Okay, what does it want? Oh, it's wanting not an array list, but a list. There we go. And we don't need that unused import. Okay. So an array list and a list are the exact same thing, pretty much. Now what we're going to do is we're going to, this is getting into some advanced stuff, so if you kind of fall behind, feel free to pause the video and go back a few steps or ask me questions in the comments. So here we go. So we're going to say for, and then entity E. So this is saying, this is, let me do this and then I'll explain it. Okay, so what this is going to do is for each item inside this list, since this list contains a bunch of entities, it's going to loop through and run this code, and for the object E, it's going to be each item that it loops through. So it's basically going to sit there and say, first thing, okay, run this code with E being the first item. Okay, run the second thing's E being the second item. And it's just going to keep going through until it gets to the end. Okay, so what this list will contain is all mobs within a 20 by 20 by 20 radius. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to say if e.get type, so we're going to get the type of entity equals entity type dot squid. So if it equals a squid, we need to import, entity type. Okay. So if it equals a squid, then what we want to do is we want it to bring that entity closer to us. Now, how we're going to do that, I have to think about this, and I might need to do some testing, but I'm going to keep you guys with me during that so that you can see the whole process. So we're going to say, if it equals this squid, then we're going to say e dot set velocity to e dot get velocity dot, okay, so that'll just keep it in the same position. Wait, e dot, I got an idea, e dot get velocity dot get dot hold on, I'm trying to think. I know there's something that e dot get location dot get direction plus 0.01. Well, and then we'll say, I forgot you can't do vectors. Dot add and then 0.01 just to see, just to start off small. What? Oh, what? 1. Will that work? What? Dot add, oh, add new vector 0.01. What? Maybe 1? Why can't you cast a vector to that? Okay, never mind. Okay, hold on. can I cast a double to a vector? Okay, I can't cast double to a vector. Okay. Darn. But we can do dot multiply. Haha, I tricked you. There we go. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say player dot send message. This will probably spam the hell out of us, by the way. Chat color dot red. Squid is attacking. Run away fast. Okay. There we go. Perfect. Nope. Okay, now let's explain this just really quickly so we can all get an idea. So, code's gonna run. Let's say so. Player moves. It gets to player, right? So we have that player. So any instance that you see this, all where these are all green, that's where it's gonna be the player that it's using is whatever player moved. So it's gonna get the player, all the nearby entities by the player, put them in this little list. Then it's gonna go through and it's gonna loop through each one of those, filter through them. All the ones that are squids, it's going to run this code through, and it's going to set their velocity by to the direction that they're looking. Well, actually, no, we want to, okay, hold on. I'm going to pause this and think about this for just a little bit longer, because I think I may have an idea. Alright, sorry about that. I had to do some math. Okay, so this won't work. This won't do what I want it to do. Wanted it to do. No. What we need to do, alright, is we're going to specify vector objects. So we're going to say vector, and then we're going to say velocity, how do you spell velocity, right? Just like that. I don't know. We'll see. Equals e dot get velocity. Oh no. E dot get location. Yeah, get location, and then we're going to convert that to a vector, and then we're going to say subtract player dot get location not to vector dot normalize. So we're going to normalize that. Okay, so what that'll do, why is that in there? Oh wait, oh, we don't, no, not that type of vector. Yeah, we don't want to import a Java vector, we want to import a bucket vector. Bucket has its own version. No, wait, yeah, no, wait. It imported the right thing, didn't it? Yeah, it did. Okay, cool. There we go. Now, instead of doing multiplying by 1, we're going to do by negative 0.1. Okay. There we go. Now, we're not entirely done yet. Now what we need to do is we need to specify that sorry, I zoned out there. Now we need to specify that the event handler, that event thing is a thing. So we go into our onEnable, and we're going to say plugin manager PM for plugin manager equals get server dot get plugin manager. Boom. Now we import this. Okay, and then we're going to say PM dot register event. Okay, and then we're going to say the class, so player move, and then this. And the reason we say oh wait, no, sorry, not wait, what? Wait, hold on, am I doing something hold on, sorry, I feel like I'm doing something, I know, well, I am doing something wrong, but that's said remove. What do you mean expression expected? Method call expected. Duh. I'm brilliant. Yeah, so that'll register that event handler. And what we'll actually do is, yeah, actually no, that should be good. Okay, so we can do the build thing. We do build, make project. It'll put our plugin right here. As you can see, that's more updated with the time. So we can drag that into the dev server. Come on, there you go. We'll go up and away to plugins. We'll replace the file. We go into our console. Oh no, I was shot by a skeleton. Reload. We're gonna respawn. Okay. Let's minimize this and get this full screen. Okay. So now, UDPL. Okay, our plugin is set with the name fixed and everything. Okay, so let's go into fly. Oh. We should op ourselves too. Okay. And then / game mode C. Okay, now we're going to get a squid. We're going to spawn him. This is going to be terrifying if it works. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, God. I feel like this is going to lag things. Oh, so if we run... Wait, what? What is he doing? Oh god, you see what I mean by I told you it was going to spam us. Okay, let's put some squids in the water and see if they chase after us. So now if we're sitting here getting in the water, is it working? It looks like, I think it's working. Oh my god, it is. Wait, is it really working? Hold on. I'm kind of worried it's not working. They're moving, but not towards me? I don't know. Hold on. They're moving away from me, it looks like. Wait, so if I go on this side of them. Well, oh, huh. Yeah, it looks like did I do the math wrong? Maybe I need to, hold on. Let me try something. Rather than subtracting, let's try multiplying it by 0.1, positive 0.1. And we'll do build, make project. Okay. Go back here. Move this. Here again. Okay. This is all part of the debugging process. Okay. Now, here we go. Okay. Spawn a bunch of these squids. Okay, I don't know. I think they're coming towards me, but I don't know. Let's try, well, here, we'll multiply it a little bit more. We'll say 0.6. It could be, it very well could be that it is moving them towards us. However, we're not doing enough, or it's not adding enough velocity to them for them to actually move after they, you know, their walking speed could be a little bit faster than we're moving them towards us. So we're going to find out. Here we go. Reload again. Okay. So that's moving them away from us. So look at that. We've got a squid force field. So now, okay, so I think I'm kind of happy if my math was right. I just didn't add enough velocity. This is all part of the debugging process. You know, no one's code is going to be perfect. So if you run into errors, that's 100% expected. You just got to keep going through and making sure that, you know, don't give up. You got it. Okay. Now, oh god. I think they're coming towards. Squids are weird. Oh god. Get away. Oh god, they are coming towards me. Oh god, what did I make? Oh god, I think the reason it's a little bit weird is because it moves them in the direction that they're looking, and squids are a little bit weird with the directions that they look. But it does. Oh Jesus, that one just came launching after me. But yeah, so you know, it works. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. More episodes to come. This is a pretty long episode. Oh my god, it's 50 minutes, 2 gigs this episode. I'm gonna have to compress the hell out of this. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember to subscribe for more episodes, and like it if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it. Comment if you have any questions, and yeah, we're here to learn, and you know, people are gonna make mistakes. If you have any issues, remember to comment them. Thank you. Bye.